So it's done. Well, 99% complete, actually. We still have a couple more things to do, such as the door for the solar electronics cabinet that you can see there, and some trim pieces up here around the upper door. New curtains. These curtains are the originals and they're pretty ratty, so we're going to work on some nice nature or animal themed curtains. Main thing's getting the door complete. We're going to do that tomorrow. And there's a few other little odds and ends, but like down here, there, you probably can't see them, but there's two doors on these two storage areas under the dinette seats. They need to be put back on. Not a lot left to do. Probably finishing it tomorrow. So for the most part, it's finished. I took it for a drive today. Well, I took it for a pull today. You don't drive a pull behind camper, but yeah, I hitched it up to our sport utility vehicle and took it for a roll down the street, and it went real well. Got up to 55 miles an hour, which I might maybe safely could hit 60, but you know, why really? You know, why go that fast? It's more of a short range vehicle anyway for the surrounding 3 or 4 counties here in the region, so there's no need to be in a hurry. But it, you know, it pulled perfectly fine. Couldn't even tell it was back there. Seemed balanced. Let's see, what else? Looking around, you know, it's pretty much a Casita. The people who had it before me made this much thicker, nicer bed, which I have yet to try out. I'm going to try it tonight. This is going to be the first official night for me sleeping in the pod. So that being said, I suppose I should get into sleeping attire. Well, there we go. Presto changeo, right? So a little more comfortable for sleeping for the first night in the NaSA pod. And it's a little bit muggy in here. According to the thermometer, it's showing 76 degrees in the electronics cabinet. The other room thermometer is showing, come on, 71 degrees. That's a little better than 76, but it feels, well, because of 70% relative humidity, it feels a little bit warmer than that. So I guess I'll turn on the fan. Wow, instant cross flow coming from over here. You can see how the curtain's moving a little bit. And that's nice. I can turn it up. Probably don't need it that high. Turn it all the way down to low. Okay, not off. What, maybe setting 1. There we go. That'll help us out. Cool it down a little bit. Keep it a good cross flow going. But yeah, I'll show you around a little bit. Looks very different than a few weeks ago, doesn't it? So looking over here to the left, we have the information center, and you can see we have on the right, this is the temperature of the solar electronics gear cabinet, which is behind this door. And there's going to be a trim piece up here soon. These blue pieces of tape will be gone. And also we can show you what's up here. This is the breaker assembly, the breaker and fuse assembly. We have AC side over here and then DC side here. This is a big DC breaker. The main AC breaker is down under the sink. This is a DC converter, 12 volt to 48 volt. That runs the security system. These vents, Jim Hardy put these vents in recently to help keep this cabinet nice and ventilated. We have on the left the information console for the Victron energy systems, and it is showing right now that we are connected to grid power, shore power, if you will, and it's bringing in power flowing through the inverter, coming down to the batteries, and then from the batteries going out to the DC systems, which are running right now at only 115 or so watts. Not very much going on. We have the cooling fan running for the room, the main big fan, the max fan, and the lights, and that's it. Well, and the monitor. Okay, over here at the kitchen, we have standard sink for a Casita, a Dux top induction cooktop. I'll test that out in the morning, maybe make some tea. Over here is the weather station showing the temperature outside over here, and wind 0, temperature inside, humidity inside, and sunset has already happened. But yeah, I'll show you how that works tomorrow with the sensor pod on the outside of the vehicle. To the left of the sink and the information console for the weather station, we have one of the cooling fans coming from the solar electronics gear cabinet. I can engage the fan if you would like to see that. Let's see if I can make this happen. There we go. I have it set at 85 just because, you know, I don't know, it was kind of an arbitrary number. 85 seemed pretty warm to me, and I just have the fans, there's 2 of them coming on at 85. I'm going to add a third soon when we add the new door, which is going to go here. Tomorrow we're going to put a door in this position which will seal off this cabinet from, you know, people who may, or cats or animals or whatever, who might want to get in there and wreak havoc with very dangerous and expensive wiring and batteries and such. So yeah, anyway, we'll be putting the door on tomorrow, and I'm probably going to add a fan right in this location. Have one more fan, might as well use it, right? There are more than 2 batteries. If you come down here and open the bottom door, there's 2 more batteries. So we have 4 big lithium ion batteries from Victron Energy. 12-volt system, by the way. 12-volt system that should be able to power everything for many days when in full sun, but without sun, we'll see. We haven't been able to test out the system yet, and we'll be doing that very soon. We're going camping in about a week, and we'll be able to test out all systems, including the fan. This is the roof fan, which is a max fan. Normally it would be on the roof, but because of the huge array, the huge solar array, 1780 watt array, we had to put it in the wall, and it makes for a nice kitchen window during the day. Actually, it's pretty neat. Okay, then coming over to the right, we have a charging station for USB. Of course, that's also 12 volt, but we're using it as USB. Whoa, come here, GoPro batteries, don't go falling down in there. And then to the right of that is a night light. Sun, cool, huh? And 120 volt outlet with 2 USB plugs. And then up here is the security system monitor showing all 5 cameras running at the moment. They record 24/7. They're connected to Wi-Fi, and any motion is detected, it will alert me through an app on my phone, and it connects to Wi-Fi using that handy dandy little device, which I added all of those little blue heat sinks because all of the reviews on Amazon stated that it gets really hot. It doesn't get hot now. Those heat sinks work very well. And the security system is housed in this cabinet. I do need to do a little bit of rearranging up here. It's kind of a real mess. There's all kinds of wiring everywhere. I need to do a little bit better with wire management. I don't like this very much. Also, I need to have a little more space for storage, so I will be working on that later, but it's not imperative at the moment. There's one of the cameras. Hello. I can see myself over there on the monitor and right there on the camera. Oh wait, I'm in 2 places at once. Anyway, and then here's the bed. So nice thick foam with memory foam on top. We're going to, or my wife, she is good at sewing and embroidery and knitting and crochet and all of those mystical things. She's going to cover these seats in something a little more appropriate, such as maybe an animal theme of some kind. Down below, we have the 2 stations for, these 2 stations will run power to the animal habitats, which right now the pod is set up for human animals, but when we use it for festivals, we'll need to, especially when it's cooler, we need to keep the animals warm. So these two locations, there will be stacks of interlocking toolboxes I mentioned in my earlier video, which I will show you in a later video when everything is fully complete and on the road and functioning. And these toolboxes will plug into these outlets. See how when you turn one of these on, it sends power to a cable that comes out of the hatch here. And then that cable will then be plugged into one of the heating pads built into the animal habitat boxes. And there will be as many as 10 in total. There'll be actually 12. There'll be 5 on this seat. We'll remove the cushions, of course. 5 stacked here, 5 stacked there, plugged into both of those systems there. There's also USB and 12 volt in case we need them for charging things and such. And under this seat is the other water tank that I installed to give us extra capacity for water. Okay, bathroom, yes. Dark in there. Let me turn on the light. So here's the bathroom. It's very small. It's like a head on a boat. And on the floor, we have the original fish, but it's kind of dirty because I haven't cleaned it yet. I've been working. So I put in this little bamboo, I don't know what you call it, little bamboo thing to stand on. Pretty cool. And I'm going to give it a test tomorrow morning. This is a vent tube for the water system. Today, when I took the pod on the drive down the road, I kept hearing odd gurgling sounds when I had the pod at an angle, and I looked in the bathroom and water was coming out of here because, again, it is a vent tube, so any extra pressure, it's going to come over through the vent tube. I will probably eventually run the tube all the way up to the top to get away from any spewing of water. It's not a big deal really because it is a shower, so any water that comes out will go down the drain into the gray water tank. So we'll give that a test in the morning. And then this is right now just a storage area. I can't really see anything, it's dark in there. I haven't really made use of that yet. So yeah, that's it. That's everything that we've done to the pod. And you know, on the inside, there's a little bit more to do, like I said, with the curtains and a few other trimmings here and there over on the door and such. But and of course we got some more electrical work to do down underneath, but that's not going to happen until the parts arrive. You know, with the supply chain issues, it might take a while for some things, but those aren't imperative. Right now the pod is plugged in and running on 120 volts from my house, which I'm sitting on my carport. My house is right there, and that is where I'm drawing power at the moment. But of course the solar array works perfectly. I've tested it out and made over 1200 to 1300 watts, I believe, at the peak, and it is a 1780 watt array, and I was getting filtered light through the trees. So I can't wait to see how this is going to do in my friend Mark's yard, which is open to the sky in less than a week. We'll get to test it out to its full capabilities. But I do know that the solar array makes a lot of power. The system all is integrated and working exactly as it should. And we've tested the air conditioning as cold as it will go, along with the water heater on at the same time, and not even a hiccup. Worked perfectly. So that Victron system is amazing. It is an incredible solar electric system that I mean, I've only used it a short time, but I can already say it's worth every penny, and I highly recommend it. Now you're probably wondering what happened to my pinky. Yeah. So, you know, whenever you're building any major big project, you're going to hurt yourself eventually doing amazing things like this. And yeah, so about 2 weeks ago, I was working up here behind this panel, and I had to hold a tiny nut with my pinky and my thumb behind the panel while I turned a screwdriver with the other hand, and I had to hold it really tight to keep it from spinning. And as I was holding it, I heard this loud pop, like a twisted, really tight rubber band snapping, and I felt the pop in my pinky. It was weird. And I brought my hand out, and the tip, the last joint of my pinky, or first joint, depending on how you look at it, was bent down like that. Very strange. Didn't hurt at all. It just didn't work. So I taped it up with some painter's tape. You may see me in some of the video time lapses that I'm about to show you with that blue painter's tape wrapped around my finger to keep it straight. And I finished the job I was working on because it didn't hurt. Some doctors out there are probably going, shame. But anyway, I had to finish the job, right? And so I go down to the urgent care just down the street, and they were like, oh, weird, let's x-ray it. And they checked it out, and they're like, you've got a mallet finger injury. Another person said, you've got a swan neck injury. Different things coming from different people. But then finally, they did come to the same conclusion. Got to wear a brace on it for 6 to 8 weeks for it to heal. And if it doesn't heal, you might have to get surgery. Apparently, I ruptured a ligament. Yeah, that's a thing. Didn't know you could do that. But anyway, so I got to wear this for several weeks and hope that it heals. And if it doesn't, they'll go in there and stitch stuff back together, I suppose, and then it'll work. But yeah, that's what happened with that. Yeah, so as far as the pod goes, I'm going to sleep in it tonight and see what it's like. I'll report on it maybe some point in the middle of the night, or maybe I'll sleep all the way till morning. I don't know. I'll give you a full report. So let's see what that's like. See you then. I have to say, this is quite comfortable. Nice firm mattress with a nice pillow top. I believe you call that a pillow top. But yeah, this is really nice. I think I'm going to sleep really well in here. First I need to turn off the light, don't I? Well, it was a nice night. I slept really well on the Casita's little bed here, and I got a little chilly. Got down to 54 last night, and the cross flow, I had to get up and turn off the fan. But other than that, I was fine. I like it. I like this little pod. Is going to be a wonderful outreach program classroom for Earthshine Nature programs and for Trails Carolina and Trails Momentum. So I got up this morning and took a shower. I had about an 8-minute shower, which astonished me. I thought it would be like 4 minutes, but it was about 8 minutes. It's a 6-gallon water tank. Now, of course, I didn't crank it up to full intensity, full on heat and steam and all of that, but it was enough. It was great. A lot better than showers I've taken while camping in the past, which weren't showers, or a jump in a creek or something like that, or wipe down with a wet wash rag, which works, but there's just something about having your own shower and your own bathroom in your own camper. Be it small, it's going to be perfect for when we're doing outreach programs that last several days, such as the Leaf Festival, when the festivals come back full force eventually, which they will. Well, it's time to make some tea. So right here we have the Duck's Top inductive cooktop. I have not used it before. Well, I have in the house to test it out. Well, why don't we test it out here? If I can plug it in. It's a brand new outlet. Oh, hey, power on. Okay, let's try this out. So being an inductive cooktop means that you can only heat up things in a ferrous, iron-based pot. I don't know if this is iron-based, but it's old, so it probably is. Back when they used to make things out of, really heavy, strong material. Not that aluminum isn't strong or fiberglass isn't strong, but steel, Let's see. Boil. I heard a clicking sound. Oh, it wasn't even on. Let's see what it tells me. It can sense whether your pot is an appropriate pot for the duck's top or not. Right now, it doesn't seem like anything's happening. Oh, it's working. Good choice in pots, I guess. At least I think it's working. Yeah. I'm seeing condensation forming on the top of the stove. So that tells me there's something going on between, yep, I hear sizzling. Oh, okay, I see why. It's just there's dampness on the pot. It's working. All right, out of curiosity, let's see how much power is being pulled by the system. So according to the Victron energy dashboard, right now we are pulling 1,055 watts from shore power, and our total AC loads are 3,011 watts, and the batteries are at 97%, but they are discharging, going through the inverter to power the water heater that's warming up the water after my shower, and the duck's top cook pot, and of course the fan, and other DC loads. There's only 41 watts going to DC right now. I can hear the water starting to boil. Wow, amazing system. I'm gonna drink my smoothie while my tea heats up. I have the cold one first. So I think the placement of the ventilation fan is going to work perfectly, don't you? Right in front of the area where I cook. It will pull out any fumes, gases, although I don't think I want gases coming off of my food. But yeah, pull them straight outside. Not sure how long this will take. It says 8 minutes if I'm reading this correctly. And it's at the highest setting, power 10, which is the highest setting as far as I can tell. Whoa, okay. It's boiling. Wow. That's amazing. That was incredibly fast. And it's warm to the touch. Woo. Look at that. Woo. It's hot to the touch on the top. Wow, okay. Yeah. Don't fall off, lid. There we go. Nice. Root tea. What do I mean by root tea? Well, I make a healthy tea from, well, it's not just roots. My wife calls it dirt tea, but it is yellow root, which is a plant that grows down by the creeks around here. It's really good, a good health tonic in the spring, anytime really. And reishi and chaga, and old man's beard, usnea, and some honey, local honey. Good for you. That's pretty warm, and I don't have a coaster, trivet, or anything like that to set it on, so I'll just set it up there. It is, after all, what that's made for. I'll let that cool off a little bit before I drink it, since it was boiling. So I'll have my smoothie. But what was I saying? I don't know. Where did I go with that? Oh yeah, my smoothie. So you're probably wondering where I got the smoothie. I don't have a refrigerator. Well, that's right. I went inside to get the smoothie and the tea, but we don't have a fridge in here right now. What I'm going to do about that is this table. When we need a fridge, we're going to have the fridge sitting on the table. It's going to take up the table space, but it's really all you can do in such a small space. Or of course, put the fridge in the vehicle that we pull this Casita with when we're doing those multi-day programs. So yeah, the fridge is a cooler that is also a refrigerator and freezer made by a company called Go Sun. I'll have to show that to you at a later date. But anyway, that's the plan for that, and it'll plug directly into one of those outlets I showed you earlier where the animal habitats will plug in. Okay, so to get the Casita to this point, to get the PoD to this point, what did it take? Well, it took a lot. It took a lot of work by myself and my friends Jim Hardy and Bob Harris, who the three of us together, and my wife Marion, who worked on it with mainly her inspiration, and now it's her turn to do some interior work. But between the four of us, we have converted the PoD from what it was to what it is now in, let's see, 4 months. It took a lot longer than I originally thought, but yeah, in video one, you saw a little bit of the planning stages and some of the early work. But now in this video, after I've introduced you to the PoD, I'm going to show you what we've done over the last maybe 2 months, working to make this thing what it is now. And it's all in time-lapse mode. So get ready to watch a really fast video of the work we have put into this. And it's pretty wild how much it takes to convert something from what it was to what it is. Sounds pretty weird, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. For those of you out there that have converted campers or rebuilt campers into whatever you are needing, those of you out there who live in vans, you know, it takes a lot of work. You know what I'm talking about. So here we go. Take a look at this. This is the last couple of months of work on the PoD, turning it into what you see today.